o'clock, straight up 5 o'clock on the East Coast in the United States of America. It is 5 o'clock and it is a beautiful day. A beautiful day, I say. Beautiful day in Thurmont, Maryland, USA. And Stig is in the house. He's in the house early. Stig hanging out. And so I've got news today. I finally got the bespoke Bitcoin ring. It's on my pinky right here. You can see it right there. And it's a beauty. It's 18 karat gold. I had it made specifically so that it would be very comfortable on the finger, so it wouldn't bind when I bend my finger back and forth, so it wouldn't feel uncomfortable underneath. It's a comfort fit where he rounded the inside edge. He put like a bevel on there. Typically that's done on a wedding ring. This wedding ring also has that feature. It's called a comfort fit. And he nailed it. He got this ring exactly the way I wanted it. It is comfortable enough to be worn all the time, 24/7, 365. And I'll give you a close-up here. Let me see if I can get this camera. So there it is on the finger. Get that in focus. And it has a nice low profile to it. Okay, nice low profile. And I'll pull up some more photos here that I put on Flickr. See if I can get my Flickr to come up. And let's get official time check while we check on that. There's the official time. And let's see here. Here we go. Here's a photo that I took when I was out walking earlier. I snapped that one with the iPhone 10. And here's another one also with the iPhone. And there is a shot showing how flush it is on the finger. It sits nice and flush on the finger, yet it's thick enough to be strong. And all the way around, it's thick enough to be strong, but thin enough to be comfortable. He really struck just the right balance. You know, you see some Signet rings that are bigger than this, and I've tried on and worn Signet rings that were bigger, and they're just not as comfortable. This one is very comfortable, and I can wear this all the time. I wanted something that didn't bother me when I was wearing it, right? I wanted something that felt really comfortable. You can barely see the bevel that it has on the inside, the Comfort Fit bevel, and it's nice and rounded all the way around. It's nice. It's a solid ring all the way around. And I mean, he nailed it. We went back and forth on the design, and I played with this sterling silver ring. I wore this and kind of as a test ring. This was sized for my pinky. And this one has sharper edges. They don't feel sharp, but they're not as rounded. And this one was wider at the back end. This one's thinner at the back end. So when you flex your finger like that, it doesn't bind. And it doesn't bind on the top. It doesn't bind to the knuckle. Okay, so it just fits very nicely on hand, looks nice, gets the message across. It will certainly be a conversation starter. It will start a conversation. And that's what it's there for. It's there to signify something. It is a signet ring after all. And so I'm happy with it. Let's look at some more photos here. That is where it's marked 18 karat, and it's marked the name of the gentleman who made it. And on the other side, it has number 1 also on the inside, because this is ring number 1. Each ring is going to be numbered. Each ring is going to be numbered, folks. So I can make this full screen. Yeah, make that a little bigger. Each ring is going to be numbered, and this is going to be a limited run of rings, and limited, if for no other reason, they're not cheap. So there's that. Let me pull up the Signet ring page. Let's see here. Refresh this page. I've got all the pricing I put on my areaguides.com/signet page, and that link is in the description. And also, I think I put the pricing in the description as well. And the pricing is based on a 7 1/4 size, but the bigger sizes are not going to be that much more. It's not that much additional gold to make it a little bigger. But here is the page. Oops, I'm sorry. Here's the signet ring page. And if I scroll down, this whole page just talks about signet rings and what they're all about and all that. And if you scroll down here, we've got the picture of Brianna's signet ring, which is also available for ladies. That's for ladies. And then here's the one that's for the men's, the men, and then the price is just above there. Okay, so in 18 karat yellow gold, it is $1,285. In platinum, it's $1,375. In 14 karat yellow or white gold, it's $1,050. Oh, and by the way, the 18 karat gold price is also white or yellow. So 14 karat gold is $1,050. Sterling silver is $400. And that's based on gold prices today. And so even if the price of gold goes up a little bit, it doesn't change it that much. But there may be a little bit of change if the price of gold, goes up significantly. So that's where we stand here. So now we have a ring that is available for the men, and that's this one here. And then we also have a ladies version that is very similar, but a little bit different. Similar, but a little bit different. It's more trim. It's thinner. It has less gold in it. So, and the top of it's a little bit different, but they're very similar. So I like it. I think I was very pleased that, whenever you're having something made based on your design, you're always concerned with whether or not you get it right. And I think we got this one right. I am extremely pleased with the end result. It is so comfortable. I won't ever have to take it off. I can just wear this thing all the time. It's not going to bother me one bit when I'm shooting photos, whatever I'm doing, not going to bother me one bit. And that was the goal. This one I could also wear all the time, but it just kind of bugged me sometimes. And when I would bend my finger, it would kind of bind a little bit, and I'd have to kind of like push it a little bit or wiggle it around. It wasn't perfect. This one is perfect. I can move my full range of motion and it doesn't bother me one bit. It just goes along for the ride and it feels nice. It feels the way it's rounded and all. And I got lucky. I got the size just right. And that reminds me, I'm going to put a link here on this page to the sizing tools that you buy off of eBay. If you not eBay, off of Amazon. If you don't already have them, you can buy real cheap the things that you use to check your ring size. And so I got it. 7 was a little tight. 7 1/2 was a little bit loose. So he does quarter sizes. So I did, okay, let's do 7 1/4. And it ended up being just right. Just right. Okay, let's go through here. Kyle said, hey guys, David Williams in the house, everybody in the house hanging out. Looks nice. Do you have the wax to try it? Mine slips on and off fine. Is this Breeze ring? It's similar to Breeze ring. Rings are going to be hyped again with the new Lord of the Rings Amazon series. I'm hyped about that. In fact, I think I will read the Silmarillion again after 40 years. Okay, there we go. The bracelet, ring, watch combo, and pin doing work today. There we go. Yeah, I want to go the all gold route. I want to go the all gold route. I would not be brokenhearted if I sold the 231 and just went all gold all the time. All gold all the time, especially now that I have this signet ring and it's so comfortable. It's significantly more comfortable than this one. This one's pretty comfortable too, but it's significantly more comfortable than the sterling silver ring that I have. And as I said, these rings are also available in platinum and in platinum and in sterling silver. So that's nice that he has the flexibility to do that. And you wanted 10 karat, but I'm telling you, 14 karat is plenty, 18 karat is plenty strong enough. You don't have to go 10 karat. And he didn't really want to make it in 10 karat. He said, you can have some problems with 10 karat, sometimes corroding. And you really don't want to go with that small amount of gold. You really want to go with at least 14 karat. And his price on, let's see here, let's go back to the prices. Okay, so 14 karat, let's see, would be $1,050 shipped, $1,050 for 1 in 14 karat. And I think that's a hell of a deal. I'll tell you, if you price these signet rings around, and this is 11.19 grams, 11.19 grams, has a nice feel and has a nice solid feel on the finger. If you price them around, they're generally significantly more money than this to have one made just about anywhere. Let's see what else. Do not be cheap, please. Get the real thing. Okay. What's Dur getting? Is Dur getting something? Dur's been acquiring some Bitcoin lately. He's been acquiring some Bitcoin. I bought some recently on the recent dip that we had. Speaking of dips, let's see what the price is now. It was recovering a little bit. There was a lot of China FUD, and so that knocked the price down. And let's see where we are right now. Right now we're at looks like 44,600. $44,624 for one Bitcoin. And, people bitch that the price pulled back. It was like 50,000 there for a while or close to it, and then it pulled back. They're bitching. It's still up more than 300% in the last year. What in the hell do people want? I mean, come on now, folks. Come on. Let's see. I did take down the Shapiro video. I went ahead and took it down. Enough people were bitching about it that I went ahead and took it down. I was using it as a way to promote people moving to Florida, to people finding freedom and moving to Florida. And he did a podcast where he talked about it. Of course, he didn't give his address, right? But he talked about him getting the place in Florida and so on, how much he likes it and all that. So I figured I'd do the video. It's not like it's hard to find the information about what house he bought. You just do a quick Google search, you can easily find it. But enough people bitched. I went ahead and took it down. They bitched about me putting the one up for Rush Limbaugh too, but I left that one up. Yeah, Bitcoin was just on sale. Okay, on sale. There you go. I assume Durr needs several pieces. I assume he will be gifting them on the clubs that he used to go to. So he's going to be gifting the signet rings. Cool. That's a nice gift. I bought he means dip. The dip. The grid bought the dip. Yeah, I don't blame him. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. The stock to flow is predicting a low of not lower than 43,000 for this month, for September. September's always a bad month in Bitcoin. There's only been 2 Septembers, I think, since it started that were up, that were positive months. September's always been a bad month. And then October has usually been really good. So he's predicting 43,000 minimum close for this month. And then he's predicting, I think, like 65,000 for next month's close. So we'll see, or 68,000 or something. That's the stock to flow model. And he's been right so far. So far, he's been right, but we'll see. He's predicting, I think, something like 135,000 for the end of the year, or as a minimum. So if it doesn't reach that, then his stock to flow model is invalidated. So we will see what happens on that. Carlos is in the house. Have you seen any Mossad agent around your compound? No, I have not. I've not seen the Mossad in the house. Well, this is interesting. Only 9 viewers. So I guess nobody really cares about the Signet rings. I thought they were a cool idea, but I guess nobody really gives a, you know what? They only want to talk about Rolexes. That's all they want to talk about is Rolexes. And supposedly Rolex released a statement recently saying that there's nothing they're going to do about the gray market situation and so on and so forth. It's not their fault, etc. And it's like, it's so ridiculous. They could stop the gray market like that if they wanted to, right? They don't want to. They don't want to stop the gray market. They love it. It's creating all this hype. My gosh, why would they stop it? Why would they care? The answer is they're not. Craig, what's your opinion about GS's answer to the Milgauss? I sent an email. Okay, we'll take a look. Well, hopefully Bitcoin takes a big dip by the end of the month so I can buy a nice chunk as a birthday present to myself. I don't know that there'll be a big dip there. I think that's wishful thinking, but maybe 10% or so. And in Bitcoin terms, 10% is nothing. Okay, let me see what this email's about. Okay, so here's a so here's another tutor fail. Let me pull this up. Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole video.
Bonjour mes amis,
but
hi guys,
evidently it's a tutor
September
fail. Who would have guessed?
23rd,
Who would have guessed
and
that? Okay, so
yeah, it's been 3 months.
And we go back to the email. And Carlos asked about sharpening. So we're going to deal with this. Okay, so yeah, sharpening. I'm not sure about any of these things to do the sharpening. I'll tell you, I have not had a lot of, I usually use a sharpening stone myself, but I really prefer, if it's an important knife, I really prefer to have it professionally sharpened. There's a guy in downtown Frederick that does knife sharpening and does a really good job, and he's not that expensive. I typically have, if it's an important knife, I typically have it professionally sharpened because I haven't had a bunch of luck sharpening, but I would rather use a sharpening stone than one of those devices personally, because you get that, at least you get that long flat edge that you can stroke the blade across. So I don't know if I'd have a lot of success with those devices you're showing there, Carlos, but maybe you would. I don't know. Okay, let's go back here and see. There was one more email. 9F Stunners here. Let's check this out. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of that case design, but a lot of people like it. That kind of like sharp edge, kind of like a lot of the newer cars are kind of designed that way, right? And I just think it looks kind of funky. I would rather have a case that's more rounded and more, yeah. I just don't get it. I don't get the reason for all the sharp edges because it doesn't help with comfort, and it certainly doesn't look any better. That said, I like the dial. I like the dial on both of those. I like the hands. I like the fact that it's got generous lume. I like everything else about it. Just not a big fan of that case design, but some people love it. I wouldn't say don't get the watch because of that case design. It's just not the way I would have done it. Let's see. The gray market with Rolex is out of control. I would never pay that hype price. I just picked up another GS because I'm over Rolex the grid. I don't blame you. I'm thoroughly in the GS camp because I think they're a better watch, personally. I went to the local Rolex boutique 2 days ago, and that usually has 10 or 12 pieces, and they only had 4 watches, all gold. 3 were 28 millimeter women's models. The other was a 36 millimeter diamond dial bezel date 8. Interesting. Yeah. Well, they're probably selling them all out the back door to the gray market dealers. I think those 2 GSs are 34 millimeter, too small. Oh, they're 34? Wow. That's surprising. Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd be I wouldn't think they'd be 34 millimeter. Boozer says they're 40 millimeter and they're quartz. Okay, so they're 9F and they're 40 millimeter. Okay, well that would work. That'd be okay for a sport watch. I wouldn't want that size for an all-arounder. I think my 38 mil is perfect for an all-arounder. Perfect for do-it-all size. Not too small, not too big. That's what she said. So, so yeah, I'll tell you how Rolex could stop the gray market, the whole gray market thing, at least slow it down significantly, is if they actually traced who the ADs sell their watches to. In other words, the AD had to provide documentation as to who they sold the watch to, and then Rolex could spot check. And if they sold a watch to a flipper, a flipper dipper, then Rolex would either hit them with a significant fine or take away their franchise, take away their dealership, right? So in other words, have significant penalties if an AD sells to a flipper. That would slow down and almost kill the black market overnight, because they wouldn't be able to get supply. Once they run out of supply, then they're done, right? And so then everybody that would be buying watches from an AD would actually be a legit end user, right? A legit end user. And they could have something like a person could only buy like one watch every, let's say, 3 years or something, right? And because, they don't need 5 sport model watches, right? Unless they're hoarding them, right? And so they could just say hard and fast, okay, if you want a sport model, buy it. Okay. You're not a flipper. You're going to actually wear the watch. So you don't need to buy another one 2 years later. You can wait 3 years to buy the next one, right? So they could very easily rein in the gray market thing. So, and then they would just have end users actually buying the watches, which used to be the case, by the way. That years ago, it used to be the case that the people that were buying the watches were actually the people that were going to wear the watch and use the watch. Heaven forbid, right, that would be the case, but that was actually the way it was back in the day. There were no flippers. There were very few people that would buy several Rolexes. Usually they would buy like a date 8, and then maybe they would buy like a sport model to have in rotation with the date 8. Maybe at most like 2 sport models. At most, that would be like an extreme case. Some people would buy a date 8, a date just, and maybe a GMT Master or a sub. And I'm going by what I actually remember happening back in the day. We're talking late 70s and into the 80s. This was typical. Most only bought one. Most only bought one Rolex and then wore it. And so what we have going on today with people buying a dozen steel sport models is not typical. It is atypical. And a lot of those people are going to get caught holding the bag when this whole thing crashes. And it will crash. This whole bubble will pop. And these people that are holding multiple steel watches as quote investments are going to get nailed, because it's a game of musical chairs and there aren't going to be enough chairs. When everybody starts selling and everybody starts panicking, the panic will spread very rapidly, and there are not going to be enough chairs for the people to get comfortably seated. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be good watching, though. I've been warning people, and they don't take my advice. So we'll see we'll see what's happening, folks, as Jason said. Yeah, 20 years ago, I walked into my D and bought a Rolex like it was no big deal, nothing hidden in the back, the grid in the house. Craig, how much BTC do you think Gabby's boyfriend has? Can you believe that guy didn't even have money for a hotel room? I mean, what a total loser. I mean, you're going to go on a cross-country, field trip, and you're not going to have any cash with you? You're not going to have any money? What in the hell? What is going on with people? As I often say these days, what's wrong with people? What the hell? I usually say, what the hell's wrong with people? That's hilarious. That's really, really, really bad. Craig, want to help me slim down my collection? Oyster Perpetual 39 white, Pepsi, Pam 1351, SBGK005, SBGA 413, SBGA 413. There's two SBGA 413s. New Speedy, White Birch, 002 Stunner. Jason, wear the 002 and sell everything else. You're a young guy. I mean, my God, wear the Stunner and just don't give a shit. Excuse my French. Just wear it, and if it gets some dings and stuff on it, it's going to look even better. The more wear and tear it gets on it, the more awesome it would be. I think it would be so awesome for you to just go gold and just wear the Stunner all the time. Even if you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, just wear the Stunner. I think it'd be so funny. I would love to do it. If somebody buys this watch right there, I will go all gold. I'll wear the Stunner all the time. That's what I'll do. I'll wear the Stunner. Stig is in the house. And he says, I was in Hamburg, Germany recently. There were guards outside the street, and they would not allow me to take photographs. This is how it works over here. Well, they usually don't let you take photos inside a Rolex AD very often. They think that's normal a lot of times. Jason, wow, lots of good options. Yeah. Yeah, but Jason's going to have an 002. He doesn't need options. He can just wear that. Life's too short. Wear the good stuff. Boozer says, you can bet he didn't even have a money clip. Oh, by the way, I'm going to talk to my guy who's making these Signet rings, and I'm going to get a price on a money clip with 1 ounce of gold in it. Mine has about 1 ounce of gold. I'm going to get a price on him making money clips, because this guy's really reasonable, and it'd be a lot more reasonable than the other quotes I got. The other quotes I got for like $3,000. I mean, that seems too much. The gold's like $1,700 worth of gold. I mean, it should only be like $500 worth of labor. It should be like $2,500, right? It shouldn't be $3 or $4 grand. The quotes I got were like $3 or $4 grand. That's just too much labor. So I'm going to get a price on that. I went to my local AD about 5 years ago and remember Batman and Hulk in the showcase. Sunrise Beach is in the house, giving us a report. Oops, meant SBGA 231. Okay. All right. So you have the titanium Stunner. So you could wear the titanium Stunner in rotation with the 002. You could do that. You could absolutely do that. I would sell everything else. There's no reason to have all that other stuff. Sell all the rest and put the money in Bitcoin as soon as possible. Sell them all, but do this as soon as possible before Bitcoin pumps, right? Because Bitcoin could double by the end of the year, and then you'll be really screwed. So I would dump and buy before the pump. Dump and then pump. I want 2 to 3 max. Yes, that's right. Get down to 2. Get down to 2. Keep the 231 and the 002, and then you'll have 2 watches that are both very comfortable on the wrist, and that'll do everything you need to do. Jason, keep the white birch in the 002. Yeah, I'd rather have the 231. That OP39 with that off-white color is amazing. Yeah, but get the top dollar while you can. Get out of those while you can. Get your money out while you can. Let's see. I can see you wearing a date 8 as a daily. He doesn't have a date 8. He's going to wear the 002 as a daily. I agree, Kyle. Keep the Pepsi. Oh, I would keep the Pepsi and the 002. That would be a good rotation. Yeah, that would be a good rotation. Yeah. But I think if he kept he can get top dollar for the Pepsi. See, that's the thing. He can get a premium for the Pepsi right now. So I would blow that sucker out. I would sell at the top. Sell at the top. I can see where, okay, I already read that one. And keep the Pepsi. Yeah, but Wags, I think you'll rethink that when you realize that he can sell at the top. You always sell at the top. That's what you do. You sell at the top and buy at the bottom. Let's see here. Here. I can't do leather strap all year long. Way too hot and humid in the summer. So I need a bracelet option. Would be tough to let go of the birch or the Pepsi. You would be surprised, Jason, how well these straps hold up in the hot weather. They hold up really well. These are good straps. These aren't like made of butter like some cheap straps. These hold up pretty good, and you can just clean them and treat them, and they're fine. Let's see. Agree, Jason Harrier. I like the bracelet option. And I think I prefer the birch to the titanium stunner. Okay. All right. 002 and add Bitcoin signet ring. Yeah, that's what he should do, really. At the end of the day, that's what he should do. Wags, did you see the signet ring? Let me show this here. This is the new signet ring. This is the stunner. This is the signet ring. And I like it. I like it. He did a good job. He did a good job. This is bespoke. This was made to my specs. And I've got it on hand right now. On hand right now. Let's get a close-up of this. And it was designed to be super comfortable on wrist, and it's a success. It is on wrist, on finger. It is super, super comfortable. I can wear this 24/7, 365, not even think about it. No issues whatsoever. No issues whatsoever. And it's 18 karat yellow gold. And guess what? Gold holds up great to heavy use. It's a wives' tale that it doesn't. It's a wives' tale. It's a wives' tale that it doesn't. I meant you, Craig, wearing a new date 8, Sunrise Beaches. Oh, no, no, no. I love my 002. My 002 is stunning, stunning, stunning. Let's see here. Hey, Blue, we missed you in the chat. Yes, Blue, are you coming to the event? By the way, anybody that's coming to the event, to Steve's event, please go to his website and sign up on the website. There's a form that you can fill out that gives him all the information about when you're going to be there and all that. Even if you've emailed him, he wants people to sign on the website. It's October 8 and 9. It just gives him more information about who's going to be here, when, and all that kind of good stuff. If you can do that, do that. Let's see here. And Blue says, been working hard. I'm glad to join in today. Okay, good. Sunrise Beaches might be on to something. Let's see. Where can I buy one? He does have IG. Wait, what do you want to buy? Sunrise Beaches? Be specific what you want to buy. Always good to be here in the house. Let's see. Definitely need the BTC ring. Jason in the house. Well, send me an email and I can give you all the information. And my email is my name, CraigShipp@gmail.com, CraigShipp@gmail.com. And I have the information in the links. There's a description and there's a link to my Signet ring page, which also has an email there. There I have the cs@areaguides.com email, but that all works. So if you want one, just send me an email. The numbers are first come, first grab. This is number one, ring number. This is ring number one, ring number one. The numbers are first come, first grab. So you got to tell me what number you want. Okay, they're generally in sequence. So ring number 2 is available as we speak. Again, the numbers are first come, first grab, and the lower the number you get, I think the better. I think the better. Let's see. And this ring, by the way, the wedding ring is not as comfortable as this one. This one, I don't even know it's here. I can't even tell it's on my finger. So comfortable. This one, I can tell. It's kind of like binds a little bit. This one probably could be a little bit looser and it would probably be better, but I don't know. I think it's just the design. He just nailed the design on this. It is just perfect. Let's see here. Do you have the link to buy that ring? Yeah, well, I have the information. You're going to have to go through me because the gentleman that is making them, they're bespoke, and he doesn't want to deal direct with a bunch of people. So you know, you're getting the same price I got, but I'm going to collect the money and handle the order and all that. He doesn't want to deal with a whole bunch of different people. So that's the way that whole thing is. It's sort of like a wholesale deal. He's sort of like doing these wholesale at a wholesale price, and I'm just doing it and not marking it up. I'm just passing it on, you know, to you guys for his prices. But he doesn't want to deal. He's not going to do these prices if he has to deal with a whole bunch of different people, right? He's going to deal with me. I'm going to collect the money. I'm going to send the money to him. He's going to send the ring to you, and everybody's happy. But you got to make sure you got the right size. So I'll also give you information on how to make sure you get the right size. Okay. So it's a little bit of a thing. Craig, guards were outside standing in the street of the AD, and they are not very gentle these days. But as you say, what is wrong with people? Wags, are you getting number 1 or number 0 of the ring? Gold is very tough. Very tough. Yes, this gold is holding up great. My ring is number 1. I believe Kyle wanted ring number 0, but he hasn't. He's under no commitment. He hasn't committed yet, but I think he wanted ring number 0. So I got ring number 1. So, yeah. And if anybody acts fast enough and they're coming to the event, they could wear it to the event. They would have it prior to the event because this guy can turn them around pretty quickly. So if you act fast enough, I'd say within the next week, you'll probably have it in time to wear it at the event. How cool would that be? And again, they're also available in sterling silver. If you want sterling silver, they're available in that. Available in white gold. You know, shout out to Carlos. How many whole coins do people need to own before they can buy a ring? I would hope they would own a couple of whole coins. I would hope for their sake, but there's no restriction. I'm not going to verify how much coinage they have or don't have. This is for people that are enthusiasts that believe that it's better for society that we promote Bitcoin and that we get it in the hands of everybody, and that society will be a better place. And so this is a way for us to literally signify with a signet ring that we are in the Bitcoin camp and that we've got skin in the game, and in this case, gold in the game. I had the new TTC Dweller, but the case back digs into the wrist too much. I can't read. can be uncomfortable. I can imagine. Yeah. See, I like watches to be comfortable. I would not want to wear an uncomfortable watch because I buy my watches to actually wear them. Blue, I wish I was coming to the event. I have work on Saturday. Really would love to, but hope to view Craig's live stream of the event. Yes, we're planning on doing a few live streams. Hopefully the internet will work out and everything. I got to make sure Steve knows that he better not have everybody on Wi-Fi hogging up the bandwidth, because that can be an issue. Jason, how will it be for me? I have an 8-inch wrist. Geez, you got to try these watches on because some of these watches can definitely be uncomfortable. Some of these big, heavy stainless steel watches can be uncomfortable on wrist. Craig, you are starting to look like Mr. T with all that gold. I like Mr. T, but no, I don't have quite as much gold as him. Mine's a little understated, right? This is kind of understated. It's there, but it's not in your face. It's a little bit understated. Now the faux pay is kind of in your face, but I normally would be wearing this with long sleeve. So you just kind of be getting glimpses of it, right? And same thing with the 002. You'd just be getting like glimpses of the edge of the case and stuff. So I normally don't wear these with rolled up sleeves, but for purposes of the show, I do. And for purposes of it's just comfortable to roll up the sleeves sometimes. So yeah, so I mean, I should take that back. I actually do roll up my sleeves probably 50% of the time, especially when it's warmer. So yeah. Let's see. In the wintertime, I have them down and I usually have a sport coat on. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm getting behind here a little bit. Sea Dweller will fit 8-inch wrist really well, but the case back will still dig in regardless of size. I recommend a deep sea over the Sea Dweller if you want a big Rolex diver. There you go. And I would recommend going for the Grand Seiko 231 diver, that puppy right there, and then you don't have any of those problems. You've got total comfort on wrist and you've got a nice big watch. I don't want to be that big. The deep sea is way too thick. The Sea Dweller doesn't look too thick. John, I would go with a Submariner. I wouldn't go with any of those. If you really are dead set on having a Rolex diver, I would just get the sub. It's much flatter on the wrist, but it would make a lot more sense, I think. Jason's in the house. If you see one in person, you'll see what I mean. It's got a domed case back that sits in your wrist and hides the thickness, but can be uncomfortable depending on your wrist and where you wear it. See, this is good. I like to have these reports from people that actually have experience with the pieces and actually wear them. They're not box watches. They actually wear them. Lou says that, Carlos, I know I would have been fun time with you. Okay. Bree, what should we do if Bree falls for a 24-year-old loser with receding hairline? Well, I mean, I can't say anything about people with receding hairlines. People in glass houses don't throw rocks, right? But yes, she shouldn't be hanging out with any loser. I mean, hairline aside, I mean, I don't understand these young ladies. They seem to flock towards these losers a lot of times, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll never get it. Carlos is in the house. He's laughing so hard he's crying. Now, Boozer, a receding hairline doesn't make one a loser. It's personality. Okay. Oops, everything's jumping here. Craig pities the fool that buys a Tudor. Yeah. Bree would think my receding hairline is cute. Yeah, she doesn't mind receding hairlines as long as you've got Bitcoin. Carlos, Craig is needing a thick Cuban YG chain. There you go. Yellow gold. Yeah, I know. Taking a dig at the guy for balding at 24. Let's see here. Craig needs to wear a clock on his gold Cuban necklace. Bezos and Dr. Phil are not losers. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go right online. The 232 diver is the most comfortable diver I've ever owned and much more comfortable than the Birch. But damn, that Birch dial is too good. You mean the 231 diver? The 231. Okay. Yes, it is super comfortable. Try that used to have a chicken leg. Try that used to have a chicken leg wrist. Seems to be very happy with the James. Try that used to have a chicken leg. Okay, the James Cameron. James Cameron is ridiculous. Yeah, that is ridiculous. I would pass there. Yeah. Craig, please show us your pen too as the Complete Tonight's Gold exhibition. Stig in the house. Okay. Man, I gotta quit my 6-figure job and get a van. Yeah, it would appear. Back in the good old days, parents would shame girls that had a loser boyfriend. I would think, I would hope, my God. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? I live in a van down by the river. Women love that. Okay, so here's the pen. It's a DuPont, and I do like it. I've got several of these DuPont pens. And it's very nice, and it works, and it looks good. It looks good with my with all my other goodies. So yeah, I like it. I bought this in the mid 80s. It's still in great condition. Still in great condition. You buy the good ones, you buy the good stuff, and it lasts. Yeah, it does. Let's see. All right, I think we're slowing down. We're slowing down. Oh, let's see if I've got any comments here. Oh, I did have a new comment. Young lady saw the 002, and here's her. This was her reaction. I recorded her reaction. Okay, just so you know, I recorded her reaction. Here we go. You ready?
It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what she said when she saw the 002. And when somebody saw the Tudor, this is how they reacted.
You one ugly motherfucker.
so that's what they said. That's what they said. You want that one again? Here we go.
You one ugly motherfucker.
So there you go. And let's see. And also here's a guy reacting to the gray market, the Rolex gray market.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
So there you go, and it all comes down to greed. That's what it comes down.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Oh, I don't know, folks. I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. You need to upgrade to a fountain pen. They're a hassle. And these just work fine. So no, I go for the reliability. Craig, was Gabby attractive enough to be a Miss Atlantic TV presenter? Oh, I commented. I think she could have been a YouTube successful on YouTube. I don't know, star. I mean, maybe, I don't know. She could have been successful on social media if she had proper guidance. She had a decent manager and didn't surround herself with losers. And this can be said for a lot of people. This happens so often where somebody has real potential and they get influenced by people around them in a negative way, and it all goes to pot. Everything goes to you know what. And it happens often, and it's sad because if some of these people would just focus and like count their blessings. And she had a lot of blessings. Count your blessings. Be appreciative of what you have and make the most of it. And so I don't know. It's so sad that this happens more often than not. My 002 comes Monday, James, in the house. Well, hopefully you can come into the show. Sell the 002, get a can. What's a can? Let's see. Sell the 002, get a van. Oh God. Oh God. Back when Arnold was cool. That's the only thing that Arnold is right about. And the van didn't even belong to the boyfriend. He didn't even own a van. Oh God. Oh God. What's really bizarre about the whole thing is it's possible he didn't even kill her. It's absolutely possible. It's possible that they had some kind of a fight, another, fight or whatever, and she went storming off or whatever, and he let her go, and she came across a really, really bad individual, and it didn't end well. That's possible too, because he seemed like kind of a punk. He didn't seem like the kind of guy that would kill her. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he's a psychopath, and maybe he did. But he seemed more like kind of like a punk to me. So I don't know. I'm not convinced that he actually killed her, and we may never know. We may never know the truth of the whole thing. And here's the thing: the way he's acted very guilty, right? If they find him, they may be able to convict him, even if he didn't do it. That's possible too. There's a lot of ways this whole thing could play out. Fountain pens are a joy to use. Yeah, but they're a hassle, and I don't write that much that I need to mess with it. And my gosh, they could leak on your shirt and all that kind of good stuff. I don't know. But you probably do a lot of real fancy writing. You probably got like amazing handwriting and stuff. So yeah. Let's see. Gabby had too many skeletons in a closet, and now she is a skeleton in a closet. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. That is terrible. Carlos is laughing. Come on. This is not a laughing matter. This is too soon to be making jokes, I think, about this. Carlos, you're so right. I use a Mont Blanc on green ink. Okay. And Carlos says, that's great. If he wasn't such a loser, he wouldn't have gone into hiding right away, made things worse for himself. Yeah, but he is a total loser. We already know that. So yeah, he could be doing those kinds of things just because he is a total loser. Not necessarily because he's a murderer. You can be a total loser and not be a murderer also. That's a possibility. Stranger things have happened. Jaden says, how would you have done it, Boozer? 100% not worth the hassle unless you can write like art. Yeah, see, Carlos can probably write like nobody's business. It looks like art when he writes something. Because, he's of royal blood. He's an aristocrat. So there's that. Just stopping in to say hi. Speaking of aristocrats, Triforce Rich, have we discussed GS superiority, yellow gold, missing blondes, and overpriced Rolex yet? Yes, we have. We've checked all those boxes. I love green ink. Okay. OJ did it. It's possible that OJ did it. That's right. It's absolutely possible. He doesn't, he has a track record with blondes, right? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? There would be plenty of DNA evidence at the crime scene, I expect, if OJ did it. Yeah. Oh, geez. Hello, Try. We even discussed your former chicken leg wrist. Oh, no. Wouldn't be evading police like he is now. Well, we don't know if he's evading police. He might have been killed himself. Anything's possible here. She ran into OJ in the desert. Hey, like I say, stranger things have happened. I now have a rooster leg wrist. All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. So I it looks like there's not a lot of demand for the signet ring, the Bitcoin signet ring. I thought there'd be more demand. I thought there would be more demand. But if I end up having the one and only Bitcoin signet ring number 1, then that'll be okay too. That'll be even more exclusive than we thought it would be. Let's see here. Endure says, I think Biden did it. Probably another drone strike he thought was ISIS. Chip Wong. The grid, the green ink is original Mont Blanc, and I mix it with black to personalize it. My gosh, you guys are really sophisticated. I'm telling you, this is a sophisticated crowd. I'm liking it. By the way, October 8 and 9 tickering across the screen there. That's when it is. That's when it is. That's when the event is. And hopefully there'll be 2 002s in attendance. 2 002s. 2002. That was a BMW model, right? Remember the 2002 BMW? They weren't that great a car. They rusted out. A buddy of mine had one, and it was that blue color, really cool metallic blue color. Let's see here. A ring to rule the void, Carlos. Carlos, we have to talk. We're going to have to talk a little bit at the event. You're going to be at the event. We're going to have to talk a little bit about Bitcoin, because I think you need to come around. I think you're a freedom loving guy, and I think you need to come around and embrace Bitcoin because it represents freedom. If we can have, and it's still an if, right? We don't know if we're going to pull this off or not. But if we can have a currency that is not controlled by any government or any big corporation or anybody at all, that can be used by anybody at all and anything. Bitcoin doesn't know or care if you're a person, place, or thing. It doesn't know or care about your race, your sex, your gender, your whatever you are. It doesn't care. It'd be nice to have a financial system that cannot be corrupted, that is what it is, and that we know what it is, and that can't be corrupted. I think it would be cool, and I think we need to talk. I think you need to get behind that. You need to get behind that. Somebody's laughing. And let's see. What is Chip Wrong up to these days? And if Steve wears his 002, we'll have 3. I don't think Steve has an 002. I don't think he owns one. And he had 2. I bought one, and he sold the other one. I don't think he's gotten another one. So, all right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you. Let's do one more time check. We're coming up on an hour, coming up straight on an hour. We'll go right until 6 o'clock. That's what we'll do. We'll go right until 6 o'clock. And so that is the 231 Stunner, SPGA 231. And this is the new bespoke Bitcoin ring, Bitcoin signet ring. And Carlos says, well, I'm open to the possibility of being wrong. Well, Carlos, no, it's not a question of being right or wrong. It's a question of it being a worthwhile project if we succeed. I think any Bitcoiner has to admit that it's not guaranteed that we're going to succeed. Far from it. The question is it a worthwhile project to try to make it succeed? And Blue says, nice show. Let's see. My best to the Wrench Gang, I think is what he's saying. I think Chip Wrong was kidnapped by some Kenyan pirates. Okay, there you go. All right, and that's it. We're going to wrap this puppy up. It is coming up on 6 o'clock. It's about 15 seconds on the East Coast to 6 o'clock. Now, we got a delay on this broadcast, so don't try to check me on that. But it is. It's coming up on 6 o'clock on the East Coast of the United States. And therefore, it's going to be time to wrap this puppy up. Thanks, everybody, for watching.